Hello, you're very welcome to Destination Newry's News Bite. Well, just got a little bit of breaking news coming from the council. Newry Morning Down Council have agreed to reopen outdoor leisure facilities from today in line with the ongoing COVID-19 regulations. This will include limited opening of forest parks, country parks, beaches and harbours. Kilbrony Forest Park, Slieveguillion Forest Park, Delamont Country Park will be reopened for pedestrians and vehicles. As also tennis courts at Newry, Warrenpoint, Kilbrony and Newcastle. Cranfield and Trella Beach will reopen as well as council operated harbours and slipways with social distancing regulations in place, but council campsites, public toilets, cafes and mobile vendors will remain closed. Members of council staff will be in place to engage with members of the public around guidelines and social distance and facility information, monitoring of numbers, litter control, essential maintenance, dealing and cleaning and safety checks, and the safety of the workers will be paramount at all times. And we would also say, please respect the council workers. So that's some good news for a start. So the coronavirus update. 494 people have died in Northern Ireland, while 1,561 have died in the Republic of Ireland. Total deaths in the island of Ireland, 2,055. Cases of the coronavirus diagnosed in the Republic, 24,251. Cases of coronavirus in Northern Ireland, 4,421. 363 people have died of coronavirus across the UK in the last 24 hours. The total number of deaths in the UK is 35,704. In Scotland, the latest figures published by the National Records of Scotland show that 3,546 people have died with coronavirus. Wales, there have now been a total of 1,862 deaths in Wales involving coronavirus, according to the latest Office of National Statistics. There are 261 confirmed cases in Newry, Morning Down. In Newry, Morning Down, there are 34 coronavirus-related deaths up to the 8th of May. There are 480 confirmed cases in Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon. In Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, there are 59 coronavirus-related deaths. The Northern Ireland Executive will revisit indoor family meetings. The Executive will revisit whether people in Northern Ireland can visit immediate family indoors where it meets on Thursday, First Minister Arlene Foster has said. Minister agreed to ease more lockdown restrictions as part of the first step of the recovery plan, so long as social distancing is followed. Groups of up to 6 people who do not live together can now meet outdoors. Relatives who do not live together can still meet indoors despite this being included will not meet indoors despite this being included in step 1 of the plan. Almost 40% of residents in care homes in Northern Ireland, which is 4,950 people, have now been tested for the virus. World Health Organization member states have agreed to an independent inquiry into the response to the coronavirus pandemic. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has raised the prospect of Kiwis enjoying extra public holidays and a shorter working week to help kickstart the country's post-lockdown economy. Ms Ardern said that she wanted to encourage nimble and creative ideas for recovery after a strict 7-week lockdown that helped New Zealand contain COVID-19, but it stalled the economy. Suggestions include moving to a 4-day week and creating extra public holidays to help boost spending in the tourism and hospitality sectors that have been hit particularly hard by the lockdown. This is an extraordinary time and we should be willing to consider extraordinary ideas, she told reporters, adding, I haven't ruled anything out or anything in. And trust me, she probably will sort it out. Other news. The British government has confirmed there will be new checks on some goods entering Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK as part of the Brexit deal. It will expand infrastructure at Northern Ireland's ports to carry out checks on animals and food products. The details are contained in UK proposals for implementing the Northern Ireland part of the Brexit deal. Northern Ireland will continue to follow some EU rules on agriculture and manufactured goods. The Northern Ireland Protocol is supposed to be operational by January and it has to be applied even if the UK and EU do not agree a trade deal. The European Union's top negotiator has said that Britain was not automatically entitled to any benefits that the bloc had previously granted to other partners in trade talks. Well, many Premier League footballers have returned to non-contact training in small groups this week, and Liverpool's reporting earlier felt like the first day of school, according to manager Jurgen Klopp. I woke up even earlier than usual, and then I realised it was my first day, he said, where his side are 25 points clear at the top of the table, he told the club website. It felt the first day of school for me. It was 46 years ago, but it must have been similar. I dressed myself in my uniform again, and for the right reason, for going to training. League bosses hope action can resume in June with 92 fixtures left to play, having been suspended since the 13th of March. Well, that's all our news at the moment. Now, as we have seen this last couple of nights, we're going to talk to some of the local community associations across the Newry Mourne area, and I would like to welcome Justin from Burren. Justin, well, he's a Carlow man, believe it or not, and he's living in Burren. He's told me 25 years. So, Justin, you have a lot to tell us about, so it's all up to you.
Thanks very much, Damian, and good evening, everybody. A warm welcome from Burren. As Damian has said, my name is Justin Murphy. I'm the Burren GA chairman. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to share with you some brief updates from different groups in and around Burren and the surrounding areas. The first thing I would probably say is that, as we're everywhere else, COVID-19 has had and will continue to have a major impact on all our activities. But I suppose you've got to take the good out of it. And at times like this, it does give you the opportunity to really appreciate where you come from, who you live with, and the surrounding areas. And Burren is no exception. We are very lucky with where we live. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch base on a number of different groups. The local GA. I want to talk about a local PPE advisor project. And we'll give a small mention to some other groups like the Men's Shed, Burren Music Club, Warren Point and District Riding Club, St Vincent de Paul, and then we'll have some general congratulations at the end. So as chairman of our local club in Burren, I am absolutely delighted to announce that work has commenced on our new sports and community hub facility. This is a partnership between the GA Club and Burren Vision, and it is certainly a very, very much needed facility within the community. And not only will it be open up to everybody within Burren GA, it's going to be to the broad community. The timeline for it to be ready, hopefully we should have it operational by early to mid-autumn. And I would sincerely like to thank Cllr and the Burren Vision team, our GA committee, our contractors, Cllr, and anybody else who's helped support the project thus far. So good progress there, and we expect to have a fantastic facility in place by September, October. So while we're unsure of what's happening with regards to the football situation this year, there's so much work going on in the club at the moment, particularly around the coaching of juvenile teams. And I want to make a big call out to the underage coaching committee, it's led by Pat Cunningham, all of the coaching teams and the parents, because there's a lot of work going on in doing virtual coaching sessions with big input from our senior players who are making videos. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I know it's going down very, very well, and it does give the players some hope and optimism that we will get football later on in the year. As with other clubs, there are a couple of other initiatives that we have run with. One is the Ready Steady Cook initiative, and we've done this with the help of our cook, Cllr O'Neill, who's a domestic science teacher, and our club nutritionist, Anne-Marie Mulholland. And all of this is hosted by Paul Fagan. So we have sessions that are not only very informative, but are also great fun as well. The next Ready Steady Cook session is this Friday on Zoom at 7 o'clock. Details to follow. Some other things that we're doing is that the Big Burn community concerts taking place on the 30th of May. We have 12 acts, we have singers, we have storytellers, we have sketches. And again, as a lot of work has gone into this, and we have a local committee that's pulling this together. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Rachel Morgan, who's producing a lot of the posters in terms of the publicity of the whole process. So it's going down very, very well. Added to that, then we have quizzes on a weekly basis as well. So there's something to do, somewhere to go every weekend with the club. All of the details of all of these initiatives are in the Burren Bulletin. And again, this has been published on a weekly basis, and a really special call out to Mary Mackay and Aidan O'Neill for keeping this particular facility going during the lockdown period. I mentioned earlier about PPE visor project. And again, these are projects that are taking place in a number of different facilities throughout South Armagh, South Down. This one in question is a partnership between St Mary's in Newry and St Mark's in Warrenpoint. And it's been led by Noel Morgan, who's a teacher in St Mark's, and Brendan Morgan, who's a teacher in St Mary's. And both Brendan and Noel started making visors in their garages, but now they've concentrated on centralised work within St Mark's. To date, with the help of a number of staff and family members, they have produced over 4,000 PPE items, mainly visors, saving the NHS approximately £30,000. And these have been delivered right across the north of Ireland and as far away as Cllr and Down. The work will continue because the demand is actually there, and anyone that can help with the provision of any of the materials, it would help. And again, anybody wants to get any more information on this, if they contact either St Mary's in Newry or St Mark's in Warrenpoint, that'd be great. But I was asked to call out 5 different pieces of materials if anybody can help with the provision of them. The first one is 3mm Fomax sheets. The second is 12 to 15mm wide white elastic. Anybody who has any A4 acetate clear sheets, CNC double-sided tape, or 25 to 30mm thick sheets of EVA foam. But a fantastic initiative by all. I know there's a big crowd of individuals in Burn, in St Mark's every morning producing these, and really making a big impact in terms of what we're going. In terms of Men's Shed, this is the Burn chapter of the Men's Shed was initiated and established last year, and they had a lot of help from some other local men's shed. I know that the Men's Shed in Rostrevor is a particularly successful group, but they have built the Burn group have built up so much momentum over the last 6 to 8 months that they're very keen not to lose it. So they're meeting on a weekly basis still by Zoom, and anybody who is keen or interested to join, please contact Aidan O'Neill, and he will give you all the details. Again, all details will be in the Burn bulletin, but we'll have more updates from Men's Shed in future weeks. Pat Mackay also asked me to let you know that details around the activities for the Burn Music Club, but also the Warrenpoint District Riding Club will become clearer in the next week or two, because they're currently having meetings to get an understanding as to how they're going to move on from there. Then the final group would be Vincent de Paul. Under the direction of Dan Doyle and Mary O'Hare, the Vincent de Paul and Burn Mayo Bridge have done a Trojan amount of work in terms of ensuring that things, resources, and vouchers are being circulated to the people who need them at the moment. And again, anybody who needs any help, no questions asked, please contact Burn, Vincent de Paul. Again, contact details to follow. And finally, just a congratulations on a couple of points. Firstly, to Rosemary Connolly Solicitors, who's celebrating 25 years in business in Warrenpoint. Rosemary is a great supporter of Burn and GA, and provides us with a lot of advice, and best wishes to Rosemary and her staff there. Also, Shorty Trainer. For those of you who are Gaelic Life readers, there's a 3-page profile of Shorty Trainer in the tomorrow's edition. So we look forward to reading that. Congrats also to Kevin McKernan, Brendy McKernan, Kevin Ryan, and Cathal Foy, who raised an awful lot of money for the Newry Hospice with their head shave, and also to an under 10 player, Emma Rose Bradley, who won a national competition to design her dream football kit, and she just recently received her prize there. So well done to her. And that's basically it. Finally, one call out in terms of a birthday. It's to Trez McKernan. She's I won't say what her age is today, but happy birthday, Trez. And that's it from Burn for this week.
Well, Justin, a very comprehensive update of what's happening in round Burn, and yes, it'll be interesting to read about Shorty Trainer, and of course, Gaelic Life is good value. You can get it for half price, £27 for the whole year. Worth reading. I have it on my laptop at 9 o'clock in the morning. So, Justin, it has been a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll do this all again very, very soon.
Thanks very much, Damian.
Yeah, thanks a million. And it's great to have Justin there. Carlo man living in Burren and just told us about everything that's happening there. Now we're going to go over to Hilltown. We're going over the mountains over to Hilltown, and we're going to be meeting Charlie Carr. And of course, the Carr name means no introduction to anybody. A famous name in Hilltown, both football and camogues. We haven't forget about the sister, great camogie players as well. So Charlie, it's over to you.
Hi Damian, thanks very much for having me, and just hello to everybody watching from Clonduff. I know Justin was speaking there about Burren and the whole community, but I'm really just going to be talking about the GA club Clonduff and everything that's been going on. We're running a social media campaign, keeping Clonduff connected. We've been posting different things weekly, daily and weekly. The first one we were doing is taking pride in where we live, where families and mummies and daddies, children are taken to the roads and to the streets and doing a big clean and keeping everything nice and tidy when things like the skips and the collections weren't coming as regularly. We're also very lucky in where we live at the minute because the views, the mountains, as you say, people are able to get out walking constantly, and we've been uploading different pictures of our scenery and things. And again, we're just very lucky to be able to have that at our doorstep. We've been releasing primetime TV on a Thursday. Well, trying our best to release it on a Thursday. And the first one we released was a video compilation of all Clonduff people near and far across the water as far as America and Australia. Just with wee messages home to family, and we kept it as a surprise to keep it was a nice surprise for families that didn't expect to get it. And similar to Burren, we've been running skills challenges from under 8s right up to under 15s, and through football, camogie and hurling. And just would like to thank all the coaches who are constantly trying to get their players active and try and keep their heads a wee bit sane in this tough period. So whether it's just getting out into the backyard and the ball up against the wall, it's great, and the kids have really bought into it, which is brilliant. Our musicians organised and released a virtual score video performing You Raise Me Up, and this was massive. It received 7,000 views on Facebook just in a week, and it was brilliant, and I got a lot of great comments. And we're also taking part in the National Virtual Score Online, and this year was the 50th anniversary of Dana winning Eurovision, performing all kinds of everything, and we're very proud to have club members Caroline Carville, Paul Kelly and Mary Catherine Murray take part in that video. And other score members and musicians featured in a score video that Down released, a song by Tommy Sands called County Down, and it was great too. Just another social media thing we've been doing is question and answers with senior players and different members of the club, and it was good to keep, as the campaign's called, keeping everybody connected. You know, people really miss getting down to the field, watching whether it's camogie, football or hurling or whatever it is, to just get down for the social aspect of training, matches, getting down, just meeting up with your friends and having that regular contact with them. So it was good to just keep players connected through the question and answers and different club people as well. Similar to Burren as well, we have had plenty of fundraising going on in the club, and it was great. The Down ladies aim to run each club to run 100k in a day in memory of Siobhan McCann for the Newry Hospice and Cancer Fund, and Clonduff were delighted to take part in it and raise massive funds, much needed at the time too. We have many camogues on the county team, including my sisters and cousins, and it's great to have them there. And they organised a fundraiser of running 5,000 kilometres in 40 days and raised over £3,000 for local charities. And it's just great that everybody's sort of getting out and keeping fit and doing it, just making good of it and raising money for charity. The community itself was very happy to collect a database of local people who had volunteered to collect and deliver parcels and essential goods, whether it's going to the shop or going to the chemist, different things, and delivering them to the most vulnerable and people who had to stay home during the early stages of lockdown. And we got a massive response, and it was brilliant. And just thanks to all the volunteers who offered their help and their services to all those who really need it the most. And I think it's important, social media gets a lot of there's a lot of negatives about it too, but during lockdown we were able to see just how good it was and the good that can come off it through keeping people connected. And lockdown could be a whole lot worse if we didn't have social media and WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter to see other things and keep in touch with people. So we're lucky in what we have at the minute as well. I'd just like to say a few happy birthdays to Dad Fitzpatrick, celebrating a big 80th birthday this week. And also to our All-Ireland Camogie winner, Lizzie Wilson, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. So a happy birthday to them too. And just to our parish priest, Father Charlie Byrne, I'd like to wish we get well soon message to him, who had a bit of an accident just at the weekend. So I'd like to wish him a speedy recovery. And I'd just like to finish by mentioning Brian McGreevy. On this day, 63 years ago in Saville, Clonduff were playing Carr Cruppen, and Brian tragically lost his life on the field of play. We run an annual under-8 tournament in his memory, and it's a very successful tournament, and it gets a lot of praise. And I would just like to remember him today. Okay, thank you very much, Damian.
Well, Charlie, listen. Just when you mentioned that, Carr Cruppen remain, we remember that because, of course, it involved our own club, and I had, we knew about that, but I just didn't realise it was 63 years ago. And on behalf of Carr Cruppen as well, we would like to offer our condolences to the McGreevy family and congratulations in Clonduff and keeping Brian's name alive and playing the underage competition. It's fantastic, and it's hard to believe that's 63 years ago, and we still have a connection with Clonduff, and we hold that very dear to ourselves here. So Charlie, listen, thanks a million for that roundup,
No
and
problem.
well done to the girls for the raising the money. We did talk about your sisters and that in the Camogues for down running the 5,000 kilometres away back a couple of weeks ago. So congratulations, and tell them that we're always available for if they want to promote, and if you have your wee videos there and you want to send them on to us, we can put them up and promote.
Oh, brilliant,
as well. So we would appreciate that. So Charlie, listen, thanks a million, and say hello to everybody in Clonduff for me, and we'll do this all again next week. And now we're going to go from Clonduff, we're just going to go over the mountain, and we're going to slide down into Rostrevor, and we're going to talk to Jarlath. Jarlath, yeah, very welcome.
Hi, Damian, yes.
I'm not going to steal your thunder.
Very sunny Rostrevor.
I'm not going to steal your thunder because I did say to you, you can have the last tell us about the council debate today about the opening up all the facilities. So, Jarlath, I'm going to put it over to you and you can tell us what's happening down.
Yes, thank you, Damian. Damian, let me begin by commending yourself and Cllr and the whole team at Destination Newry for launching this community news coverage initiative. I've listened in and watched the past 2 nights, and indeed Justin and Charlie tonight, and the information that's coming from throughout the area is very informative and very welcome, and I just want to wish you all the best in the weeks ahead and every success with this initiative. Listen, I suppose what has brought everybody together around this time, Damian, is the health crisis. It's fair to say that right throughout the district and right throughout our island, it has brought out the best of people in what has been a very challenging period for everyone. And Rostrevor is no different in that regard. People, I just want to commend them. They've displayed incredible and admirable discipline and resilience. And I definitely have noticed there's a kindness now from people, especially particularly toward their neighbours over the past couple of months. So long may that be the case. I wanted to highlight a number of things that are currently happening on a daily and weekly basis locally. And it's something that local people have really embraced and look forward to. Start off today, I just got a notification there not too long ago that there was a substantial beach clean on today, organised by Grania South and Cara Ryan, along with 20 of their neighbours from Ross's Quay. So a big congratulations to all involved. They got a beautiful day for it, and it's the first beach clean of the year, I do believe, and well done to everybody that took part. I'm sure there's plenty of children involved there as well, because they're somewhat of a loose end at the moment. Damian, you would be well aware that Rostrevor has long produced exceptional artistic talent that has seen some local people actually carve out international careers, and one such man is Shane Morgan. And Shane should be at this moment performing in a very, very famous musical that is traveling the world to great acclaim, The Choir of Man. And Shane actually should be in Florida at the minute, rehearsing for the US tour. Due to the COVID-19 travel restrictions, however, he is currently at home in Rostrevor and is instead performing on a daily basis on his own Facebook page with a song. So he tries to lift the spirits of people near and far, and he does a brilliant job on it, and it's well worth checking out. And Shane, my thanks to you for your ongoing contribution in that regard. Another homegrown star is my next door neighbour, Matthew McGrath. Now, Matthew, back in the day, pre-COVID, hosted a weekly songs and stories session in the Rostrevor Inn every Wednesday night. And Matthew has also shown a keen desire to keep entertaining. And he now hosts a live online concert via Facebook every Wednesday night, including tonight at 8:30. So well worth checking in to Matthew, and I think he is taking requests, and he will gladly sing songs that are requested, providing he knows the words. And in keeping with the musical theme, one of our local housing developments is St. Rita's Park. The residents of St. Rita's Park, Damian, are very lucky to have their own resident bagpiper in the form of Sidney Moore. And since the crisis began a number of months ago, Sid has held his own weekly mini concerts to coincide with the Cllr on a Thursday night. And it really does lift the spirits of all his neighbours and the people on Facebook who tune in every week. So well done, Sid, for all the work that you continue to do. And then on Saturday nights, we now have something that I never thought I would see in Rostrevor, an open-air community prayer service in Cllr Park. And this was an initiative promoted by local resident and retired Church of Ireland minister, Reverend Niall Griffin, who distributes a different prayer sheet every week. And then at 8 p.m, he leads a short ecumenical prayer service as the vast majority of the residents stand at their front gate to take part. So this short weekly service is due to run until Pentecost Sunday at the end of the month. But with a captive audience, Damian, maybe Reverend Griffin will keep it going, because a lot of sinners up in that Cllr Park. Now, there was reference made on the programmes on Monday and Tuesday evening to the provision of the essential supplies parcels via the Community Hub programme. And following a lot of work that I initially undertook on the ground to promote that initiative, I am pleased that there has also been a very significant local uptake of that scheme. And people actually may be surprised to hear that as of last Monday, 145 essential supplies boxes have been delivered within Rostrevor over a period of 5 weeks. And combined with the excellent service, including deliveries that the local shops are providing, I am confident that all those in need of help of any kind are receiving it. So just a couple of announcements then, Damian, relating to upcoming events. next Tuesday, May the 26th, was the scheduled date for this year's annual cemetery service. And needless to say, it's a very, very big event in the parish. And for obvious reasons, it will not be proceeding this year due to social distancing restrictions and the ban on large gatherings. However, our local parish priest, Father Brendan Kearns, has decided that the blessing of the graves will take place regardless, and he was not going to be deterred. Father Kearns intends to proceed with the service without any parishioners present. Rather, he is going to get the event recorded, and he will upload it onto his YouTube channel, which can then be viewed on Tuesday, which is the day of the scheduled service. And at this point, Damien, I think, I again want to commend the work that Father Kearns is doing. He has really embraced the social media technology that is available now. He does his daily mass, any funeral masses, any masses during the week or at the weekend are all uploaded onto his YouTube channel. And I've no need to tell the people throughout Newry and Mourne that brings a lot of comfort to a lot of people. So well done to Father Kearns on that. And I know you had mentioned Kilbrony Park. I think you're going to come back in on that, so I'll leave that to the end. But I'll just conclude by saying I have both sad and happy news. The condolences of our whole community are offered to the family of the late Lewis Mooney from Forestbrook, who was buried in the parish yesterday. And I want to make a particular call to his son Paul, or Ernie, as he'd be more affectionately known. Ernie was unable to get home from New York for his dad's funeral. And as I recall, Ernie was not able to get home when his mum died 9 years ago either. So Ernie, you're very much in our thoughts at this time. And as I messaged you earlier in the week, I'm sure New York is a lonely place for you at the minute, but keep the spirits up and just be aware that you are in our thoughts. The death was also recorded locally of Mrs. Nora Flynn, formerly from Cherry Hill, wife of the late Jim Flynn and former landlady of the Corner House Bar in the village back in the 70s. Mrs. Flynn will be buried tomorrow in Kilbrony Cemetery following Requiem Mass, which unfortunately is still only open to members of the immediate family due to the health crisis. So on behalf of the people of Rostrevor, I'd like to offer my condolences to her family. And Damien, I'll wrap up with a wee bit of happy news. Siobhan O'Dwyer, nee Farrell, one of our most highly respected and best loved native residents, told me the lovely story that on Monday past, she had baked a cake to commemorate what would have been the 100th birthday of her beloved late father, Willie John Farrell. And before she took the cake out of the oven, the word came through from Brussels that she had a new grandson, Dara. Dara O'Dwyer is the first O'Dwyer of his generation and son of Paddy and his partner, Aisling. So congratulations to the whole family. So Damien, that's it for this week from me. And just a reminder to anyone who would like a mention or to get an event promoted, please try and get the information to me early next week, and because I hope this will become a weekly contribution. Thanks, Damien.
Well, listen, Jarlath, it has been brilliant that you're able to give us all the information, and I suppose when I listen to you about the fella in America, I think it's awful hard, but the thought of the people in Rostrevor keeping that alive for him is something wonderful. And you also did say about the wonderful where the communities got together. I think that has shone through, and the people, I think what we've done is we've done the full circle here. We've gone back to what was really important to us from years and years ago. which is the community. So on behalf of everybody in Destination Newry, well done, congratulations. But you're not getting away, because we need to talk about the opening up of the facilities, which is great news. And again, I assume you've had a Zoom meeting about that, and maybe from your own point of view, rather than driving down to Downpatrick from now on, you can sit in the house and you can do council business from your own house.
Well, the word on the street is that that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future, Damien. But it keeps everybody safe, and you're still getting the business done. It's probably the way to go.
Well, look, we done ourselves a Zoom meeting from our own club committee, and we made a little bit of history there a couple of weeks ago. And to be truthful, it probably is the way to go. So you also talked about the music there and the great music that comes out of Rostrevor, and there's no question about that. But there's one thing about music, Jarlath. Music's good for the soul. And when you have good music, it gets people happy. I'm thinking of the piper piping every week. I think it's a fantastic idea. I know the Crimson Arrow band in Bestwick, they come up to Camla, and the pipe for James Kearney. James would be probably one of Camla's oldest living people, and James was a great piper. And he was sitting at the house one evening, and the guys come up and they stood outside the house and they piped him. And sure, we all thought it was fantastic. We knew nothing about it. But I would also say to all our community associations, if you've got videos and you want them uploaded and all that, maybe get them into Destination Newry. This is a phenomenal idea that Cahill and Destination Newry has come up with, and it's given us all right across the whole area what's happening. And what I'm seeing from listening to everybody this week is the community spirit is alive and well in the Newry Morning Down area, and long may it continue. And that's something to be proud of from everybody. And I think if the council was to award a civic reception, just award it to the people of the Newry Morning and Down area, because they're brilliant and they're standing tall. So Jarlath, it has been a pleasure talking to yourself, to Justin and to Charlie, and we'll do this all again probably next week as well. And of course, any news coming in, get it to us, and then we'll talk about it next week. So, Jarlath, it's not council, but it's always good talking to you.
Damien, great. Hopefully we'll check in again next week. And by this time next week, as you've indicated at the beginning, Kilbrony will be reopened, so the people will be very, very happy with that.
Well, hopefully I might even get down and have a wee bit of a walk up that hill.
There you go.
So, listen, Jarlath, thanks a million.
Right, Damien.
And bye-bye. And of course, that'll do us this evening, and we'll be back again tomorrow evening for some more news. So thanks to everybody for tuning in and listening to our Destination Newry's News Bite here this evening.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up to more there is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats perfectly. But when you call and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I glimpse eternity.